Tonight on JoyNews Prime, 3 foreign nationals are in the custody of the police after the Roads and Highways Minister ordered their arrest for what he says was the illegal construction of a 22-story building at the airport residential area.
Arrested immediately. The contractor, all those working here must be arrested immediately. It doesn't make sense. Look at this.
In a historic landmark ruling, the Supreme Court has ruled that courts must be available on holidays and weekends to deal with cases that affect personal liberty.
Momentous, very groundbreaking decision, okay, that would take our justice delivery system a few notches higher up. Okay, indeed, I'm at a loss for words. The CJ has done marvelously well.
And later in the bulletin, many tipped him to win the district assembly election, but he suffered a crushing defeat. Honorable Aponche is down, but he maintains it is not over yet.
Inshallah, we go to Supreme Court.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. JoyNews Prime comes to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle here in Accra on digital address GA0992539. Is also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Please stay tuned in. Many thanks for choosing us. We begin with 3 foreign nationals who are in the custody of the police after the Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amoah-Quanta ordered the arrest for what he says was the illegal construction of a 22-story building at the airport residential area. The minister stormed the construction site, which is close to the Association International School, with security personnel earlier Wednesday. Headmistress of the school, Audrey Doyimu, said the construction endangers the lives of students. You recall earlier this week, residents addressed a news conference on the matter, appealing to government to intervene.
Arrested immediately. The contractor, all those working here must be arrested immediately. It doesn't make sense. Look at this. Look at this. And you destroy the road. Destroy the road. The public road. In which country can this be allowed? In which country can this be allowed? In your own country, can anybody do this? It's madness. It's madness. The owner of this property is not bigger than this country. The owner of this property is not bigger than this country. Even the president of the republic, with all the executive powers in his hands, can't do this and won't do this. What kind of indiscipline is this? And we sit in this country and allow this nonsense to go on. With impudence, you enter into the road corridor, creating inconveniences to all those who use this stretch of the road. You have destroyed the road, and you think you have the power to do that? You should be arrested and prosecuted. Is national security here? Yes, this man must be picked. Please pick him. Pick him. And arrest him, put him in the car. This nonsense will not be allowed in our country. Foreigners come into our country and engage in all kinds of things. You destroy public road, public property. Because of this property, can you do this in your own country? Arrest him. And national security should stop the construction, and anybody engaged in it, please arrest all of them. Arrest all of them.
All of you come.
Everybody should come.
Everybody should come.
Arrest all of them.
Stop whatever you're doing and come. Hey, everybody should come. Stop whatever you're doing and come.
Audrey Doyimu is headmistress of the Association International School at the airport residential area. She joins us live now. Good evening to you. Many thanks for your time on JoyNews Prime.
Thank you very much.
So how do you react to what happened today?
Well, we're happy, but we're also thankful to God because, you know, we've been fighting this battle since June when it first started. So we're relieved, but it's not over yet, because just this evening we saw the workers forming back at work, forming. I think forming a wall to pour concrete. So obviously it looks as if the criminality is still continuing. What I want to say is that no one is above the law. We have laws in Ghana, and irregardless whether you are somebody who has power or not, you shouldn't disobey the law. It should not be broken. So we need to find out who the real people behind this construction you are. We don't know yet, and we need to find that out.
Construction was taking place before the minister's intervention.
Yes, I applaud the minister for what he's done, but that's just the beginning. It's only the beginning.
What's the situation there right now?
Well, right now, as I said, they were ordered off the property, but this evening we saw them, the workers back at work, forming for pouring of concrete. So obviously, the real person behind it, is still pushing it, and they are still disregarding even the minister. So, but the problem is that I think that it's about law and order, and it's about what is legal. Clearly, laws have been broken, and it looks as if some people feel that they are above the law. So we need to find out those who think that they are above the law, and make sure that they are arrested and they face the full extent of the law.
Now, we understand the workers are back at site, and that you mentioned earlier, but the Municipal Assembly and lawyer for the developers say they were not building, but rather excavating, which they have a permit for. How do you respond to that? Please,
go. I invite everybody to go to the site and to see what has been constructed, and to tell me whether that is just excavation and whether what they've built there is not construction. They've constructed rooms. You can see it. The building is coming up. They've constructed rooms, and they are still constructing. So you know what? Let the municipal person who told you come and tell us whether what they see is excavation only.
Well, but also the matter we understand is in court, and that process has not yet been exhausted. What's the status of the court case?
Okay, basically the people were supposed to build, the place had been destabilized, so they were told to put up reinforcement walls, and to backfill and leave the site, so that the place would be stabilized, because the roads had incipient cracks in them. The opposite property was collapsing. So basically, the earth had been destabilized so that anything could cave, the road could cave in at any time. So basically, with that being the issue, they were told to stabilize, to backfill, leave the site till a substantive judge heard the case. However, they completely disregarded what the judge said and went on under the guise of building and the retaining walls. They went ahead and constructed. And what we see today, after the minister came there and they bulldozed whatever they were using to cover up their crimes, you can clearly see, everyone can see, that they were building the construction itself, the main building. They have compartmentalized rooms, you can see it, and it has nothing to do with this stabilizing the road or the adjoining properties. So right now they're in clear contempt of the court, and that case will be heard very soon. I think in January it's been put to the 20th of January, and the injunction against them is also underway.
We're grateful for your time. Audrey is headmistress of Association International. Will be following the case and bring you updates on that. Now, authorities at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, are calling on President Akufo-Addo to intervene in a land tussle which they say could make them lose their property to a private developer who claims he has been tasked by the state to retrieve all state lands. In an interview with Maxwell Agbagba, lawyer for the institution, Fortunate Kwabena Bio, stated the school legitimately bought the land from its bona fide owners for the construction of a hostel. He's accusing the regional leadership of the Ghana Police Service of not helping to protect the school lands.
They had come to stop the contractor, so the contractor had to go and look for a wholesale facility. What's the name? These facilities somewhere where they could store their materials. So they stopped not the police, not police, tags stopped the people from accessing the place. And they are still, as you speak, you can go there, you can see them, they are still there. The tags, they are still on site. They are not claiming they are the owners of the land. They are claiming the land belongs to the state. And we know that the interest of the state and the interest of UPSA, which is owned by the state, are consistent. They are not mutually exclusive. The interest we have is consistent with the interest of the state. All of us were advised to stay feuding parties. Okay. As a strategy, we decided to leave. Okay. And we advised the contractor to leave in lawful obedience to the directive. When we left, the tax returned. And when we complained to the regional commander, then he said, but they are not working. And remember, 2 days earlier, we went there to write our statement. He didn't meet us. It was only Mr. Kosifori that we met.
So National Security now is promising that they're coming to give you
in fact, protection. They have given their work. They are coming to take over the entire investigation to ascertain the veracity or otherwise of these claims by other parties. Not acting in the name of the state. Okay. We know that his conduct is not supported by government. We know.
What's your next line of action?
Our appeal is to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. He has promised the good people of Ghana that he will elevate educating to a certain pedestal. Our object as an agency and the Ministry of Education is to assist him achieve that goal. And that's what we are doing. And so if there are elements within his government who are creating problems for us, we think that he should intervene. He should intervene. He should allow state agencies, perhaps national security, to do a minimal investigation to see whether what we are saying is the truth or otherwise. The law is on our side. We have title. If the state thinks that we are not entitled to the land, there are processes that the state uses. You don't go and contract tags. In fact, we have the police service, we have the military, we have all manner of security agencies in this country. None of them is on the side claiming he's protecting the land in the name of the state. But you have hooligans who can go to the extent of slapping a policewoman in a police station.
Historic landmark ruling today. The Supreme Court has ruled that courts must be available on holidays and weekends to deal with cases that affect personal liberty. The court, in a unanimous decision, held that 48 hours means 48 hours. This brings to an end the age-long practice where persons are arrested and kept beyond 48 hours because weekends and holidays are not counted. Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu in September 2016 dragged the Attorney General to the Apex Court demanding a declaration that portions of the Holidays Act that bars the courts from dealing with cases that affect personal liberty are unconstitutional. He has been hailing the justices of the court for the landmark decision.
This is a momentous, very groundbreaking decision, okay, that would take our justice delivery system a few notches higher up, okay. Indeed, I'm at a loss for words. The CJ has done marvelously well because with this decision, she has expanded the frontiers of liberties, personal liberties. You know, one of the main reasons that pushed me to bring this case to court was a practice where sometimes powerful persons in society would cause the arrest of a suspect, okay, on a Friday afternoon, knowing very well that Saturday and Sunday there will be no court sitting. so that invariably, by the time the courts open on Monday, the 48 hours that are stipulated in the Constitution would have elapsed. That is to say, under the Constitution, when a person is arrested on suspicion of a crime, even if the investigations are not done, the Constitution requires that within 48 hours, that person must be brought before a judge, depending on the offense. He's brought before the appropriate judge. That's what we mean by a court of competent jurisdiction. So that the judge will determine whether his continued incarceration is necessary or he be granted bail.
Let's stick with legal matters, because in less than 48 hours she will bow out, but she's leaving talking tough and defending a policy decision that has won her many enemies. Chief Justice Ofe Akufo insists we need to be serious about the standards of legal education. She has also been speaking on how she believes her successor will deal with the matter. The tenure of Chief Justice Ofe Akufo has seen agitations for legal education to be opened up. The CJ has maintained that it is better to have quality lawyers than many lawyers who are not competent. Correspondent Joseph Akable has more.
Family, friends, and colleagues at the bench and bar all present as CJ Akufo delivered her last judgment. Attorney General Gloria Akufo and President of the Bar Association praised the outgoing Chief Justice for always sticking to principles.
It is not often that I struggle for words, but I confess that I struggle to find the appropriate words to pay tribute to a Chief Justice who is my niece and who has become a big sister figure and a mentor. Working with her brought me great lessons. She brought to the work a huge exposure from the international community, as well as a service on the judiciary in Ghana.
The Bar Association salutes you and prays that you enter retirement with pride. You have distinguished yourself and you are an ornament to yourself, your friends and relatives, and you have served your country well. We will miss you on the bench, and I can say, without any fear of contradiction, that behind that stern look lies a very warm person.
CJ Akufo had a strong message for all on the need for high standards of legal education to be maintained.
I just want to also talk about a little about legal education. We need to be very, very serious about standards if we don't want to end up with lawyers who do more harm than good.
She also hinted of how she believes her successor would deal with the matter.
I've been listening to the radio, and people have been saying things like, oh, when the new Chief Justice comes, they don't know. I think he's even more of a stickler. He's even more of a stickler than I am.
She further revealed that despite her lack of knowledge in arithmetic, former President Mills, who was a law lecturer, passed her.
President Mills taught me taxation in law school, and I always said was one of the kindest lecturers I had, very patient, and had patience for my lack of knowledge of arithmetic. And so he even passed me in the finals. And whilst I was in the African court as president, he always made sure the ambassador knew what the court needed so that Ghana can support us.
Friday, December 20 will be Justice Akufo's last day as a Justice of the Supreme Court and Chief Justice.
We wish her well in her next step. Now, still to come in this bulletin, many tipped him to win the District Assembly election, but he suffered a crushing defeat. Honorable Aponche is down, but he maintains it is not over yet.
Inshallah, we go to Supreme Court.
There is more when we return. Welcome back to JoyNews Prime. Now to the rest of our stories. And fresh fish mongers at the Kumasi market have been given 1 week to comply with a directive to have their mandatory health cards done or risk having the place closed down. AMA sanitation inspectors on a follow-up visit to the market discovered some of the women had not undergone the health screening exercise. Inspector Joseph Asitanga backed out the instructions, which drew angry reactions from some of the traders. Komladom was with the team on their final official outing for this phase of the campaign, and here is the first of his 4-part piece.
Unpleasant memories of a fresh fish hub of a Kumasi market played back on my mind as we made our way to the same spot on our follow-up visit. As we meandered our way through a packed market, basking with activities some traders murmured.
Anybody that is refusing to come, carry their things.
The team was optimistic the traders here, especially at the fresh fish market, had complied with the directives issued on our last visit. There were generally improved sanitary conditions and fish products displayed on cleanly kept tiled platforms. But the inspectors were unhappy about this.
The last time we came, we asked all of them to do the screening. You can see the butchers, they have done it, but the fish sellers are still refusing to undergo.
It took some time to get the attention of the busy fishmongers.
Carry the things. Anybody that is refusing to come, carry their things.
And finally, when the inspectors got their attention, this was their word.
We may be forced to take action against the heads of the fish sellers. If it's for us to take them to court, we will take them to court, then court will order them to undergo the screening because a lot of them did not do it. It's only about few people that have done it.
Mami Efua, who leads the horde of mongers here, told the team she had run out of steam trying to get the recalcitrant traders to comply with the directives from them to have their health cards done.
What she's saying is that she, as a leader here, she announced the last time you came that all the traders should go and get their cards and screening done. Some of them did, others did not. But because she doesn't want anybody to disrespect her and insult her, she doesn't want to push so hard. But when the team comes on and they find out that people have not complied, they should arrest them.
But had she led them by example?
Hey, me first. Coffee, I'm ni amena ka ya fe me nu sisi ame fe me pie fe onu sisi si me ko ma me boom e wa mi ekole amoko ife mami isumo na ekwa na ejami.
She as an individual, as a leader, she has done hers, but because she doesn't want anybody to disrespect her and insult her, she doesn't want to push so hard.
The task force would give them just 1 week to deal with the problem.
Ya baba close ha ani obi anton na mo ha me ka kira mo mum market to and then Wednesday ya ko market no am paying for no aha ya ba papa log ya ba pola ko obi anton na kese ma ya sa no
David ni ya dia dada nu ya nu na ya remu ya show card mi dem aya ma to awie nti eni enfa bu de mi card ni blame
ya ba bie gate no wo ya na ya hwedi ni mu na wo ha ni ya ma wa ba inside. Forget market.
On Wednesday, when the team returns here and the traders do not have their health cards and comply with the directives, this place is going to be shut down.
In the coming weeks, entry into this fresh fish hub at the market will be based on whether occupants have their health cards or not.
Welcome back. Now, Defined Gold dealership firm Men's Gold says it will begin payments to its numerous customers whose investments are held up with the company from Friday, December 27, 2019. The company announced a payment plan earlier Wednesday. It comes after it invited its customers to visit their respective outlets to validate their documents in November. About 200 million cedis of depositors' cash is believed to be held up at Men's Gold. A statement signed by Head of Communication at Men's Gold, Niama Amatefiu, said the company was committed to paying off the customers, and the statement reads, following our broad consultation regarding models of payment and formula coupled with our commitment to bring finality to this pending subject, we're privileged to announce the following. Number one, payments shall be made strictly following a reverse mechanism, which implies from the last day month of our business operations. So the very first day when our business commenced, that's from 12 September 2018 to 18th March 2013. So this end, we shall start settlement or settling all transactions in September 2018, and those who didn't access any extra values as we proceed in the first above described mode and manner. Number 2, payments start on Friday, 27 December 2019, with funds at hand now as we proceed to go recover the debt owed Men's Gold overseas, especially in Dubai and Europe, to come reinforce as payment sessions continue. And point 3, as of today, Men's Gold assets remain frozen, implying that we cannot access any of our offices nationwide, credit or debit any bank account in Ghana. In view of these constraints, our lawyers shall agree with claimants upon invitation as to where and how to legally receive payments. Signed by Nyama Amatefio, who is head of communications at Men's Gold. So Nyama Amatefio joins me in the studio for more on this. Good to see you, Nyama.
Good to see you too,
and
Aisha.
Good news coming from Men's Gold.
Yeah, we thank God.
So you say payment will begin on the 27th of December with funds at hand now?
Exactly. That's what we are saying. Aisha, let me begin by saying that we just have to thank God for how far He has brought us. It has not been an easy journey. From last year on the 12th of September, when SEC gave us that letter to shut down our gold vote market. Then our CEO embarked on the journey to go and recover assets and then funds that were owed by us, but he got into trouble. Was able to sail through. We went to court, got acquitted and discharged. And right after that, he wanted to pursue the money and collect it and come to Ghana, but he was needed in Ghana, so he has to come and then face the charges here. When he came, he was arraigned before court. He was granted bail. Since then, we've been working hard to make sure that we settle our debt to our customers.
So let's talk about the funds. You say funds is at hand now. How much is available? How many of your customers are you paying? Are you paying some of them or all your customers?
Well, per the release that we've issued, it means we are going to pay all our customers. That's
across the country?
Across the country.
Okay.
All our customers across the country. That is those who were able to go through their validation successfully. We are going to pay those people. And if you check the release, we are saying that starting from the Friday, the 7th of December 2019, that is where we will begin payment to our customers. So if you look at the schedule that we've put in the statement, we are saying that those who have not received any extra value, those who invested their money into Men's Gold, but were not able to receive any extra value at all, is it just fair that if we have money at hand at this point to pay, we have to begin with them? So if you're a Men's Gold customer and you invested in Men's Gold, maybe in September and August or in June or July, you have never received any extra value at all, the good news is that on the 27th of December, the lawyers are going to call those people, and then we're going to arrange where we are going to meet them, and then we will begin paying them.
Okay. So how much funds is available now? Is it something that can pay all your customers?
If you look at the statement, you're saying that we're going to pay based on a schedule.
Okay.
So the first people that are going to be paid based on the fund that we have now are the people who have not received any extra value. That's what the statement is saying.
Okay.
Then when we are done with them, the next in line are people who have received 10% of their extra value. What we are saying is that if you've invested in Men's Gold, if you receive once your extra value, that means a month, you are the second in line after we finish with people who have not received any extra value at all. So that is the line that we are going to follow, the schedule that we are going to follow, until we're able to pay everybody to the end. And if you look at it, we said we're going to settle everybody within 36 months. That means in 3 years, starting from the 27th of December all the way to the 3 years, I'll be able to settle everybody.
Okay.
That's how the schedule is going to go.
So tell me how the process is going to be like, and tell me how you're going to be choosing who to pay first and who to come subsequently.
Well, the statement is clear on that. What we are saying is that the first people who are going to be paid from the 27th of December are people who have not received any extra value at all. So we have their data, and the data we have will be given to the appropriate people, and then they will begin calling all of them, and then we will tell them where to meet, and then we'll arrange and make sure that they are paid.
Now, how confident are you that you would be able to settle all your customers? I mean, considering how much money we're talking about, and you've not been able to tell me how much money you have at hand right now to pay your customers.
Well, I don't need to tell you how much we have in hand. If we don't have any cash in hand, we wouldn't come out with the press release in the first place.
Okay.
But it's very important that where we've gotten to, we have to be very sincere with our customers and just be, we should be able to let them know that we have shown faith, and then we don't need to mince words with them to lie to them that we want to give them this and then we can't. We need to be pragmatic in terms of our steps that we are taking. That is why we have come out with this statement expressing and telling them that from within 3 years we'll be able to pay everybody. It could be that, because if you look at the point 2 of the release that we just issued, we are saying that although the payment will start on 27th of December, what's going to happen is that our chief executive will now will be able to go outside the shores of Ghana, specifically in Dubai and in Europe, and then to make sure that he will be able to get the money that people are owing. So at the time that he will be able to get the money that people are owing, then he can come in and then we can continue with the payment. That's why if you look at the schedule, if you look at the third line, we are saying that those who have received 20% extra value, we didn't put any date in there. But what it means is that as at the time we get the money, then
you'll
we
be
will
communicating to them
to our customers
to get paid. Well, they say they will pay in 36 months. We'll be monitoring and wish you all the best in this endeavor. Niama Amatefiu is head of communications at Men's Gold. Now, time for some health tips, and work is set to begin on reconstruction of the broken sewage to properly manage medical waste from 3 health institutions in Kumasi. Discharge from Komfanoche Teaching Hospital and Nursing Training College, as well as the military hospital, has been found to contain antibiotics. It follows a JoyNews hotline documentary highlighting how contaminated rivers and vegetables have become a major source of antibiotic resistance. Kumasi Metro Health Environmental Officer Isaac Basanyin tells Love News the 3 institutions have agreed to contribute to address the challenge.
After the documentary, KMA took it upon itself and then invited the 3 stakeholders, i.e. the military, the nursing training, and the Komfanoche Hospital, leaders of these 3 institutions. We met on the 4th of December, and then we charged engineers of the various or these 3 institutions, plus the manager of the contractor in charge of the sewer line, that is Environmental Engineering Limited. We charged them to go and do feasibility studies and then come out with a cost, then how best we can connect that of the 3 institutions, military, nursing, and Komfanoche.
Newly elected Assembly member for Ebirim Mwamase electoral area near Kumasi has ruled out any talk of out-of-court settlement in alleged electoral violence, which left at least 5 persons injured. Emosowo Judgement has been under police protection since the attack after he was declared winner in Tuesday's District Assembly elections. A community police unit person is among victims of the alleged unprovoked assault and destruction of property. Judgement wants the incident to be treated purely as criminal. A interior of our security desk has come through with this report.
Supporters of the incumbent assemblyman, identified as Abdul Fattah, allegedly went on rampage against jubilant followers of his winning opponent. Some victims were stabbed among a number of people who suffered varied degree of injury before police were called in to restore calm.
Oh, from last night, we were waiting for an incoming assemblyman to come and jubilate. So when we are suddenly waiting for him, some group of attack come to in house where they are holding knife, cutlasses, and all those things. So suddenly, in incoming assemblyman's house, they entered making some noise and all those things. So I suddenly I go there to talk to them. Where I'm talking to them, they crashed me. That night, no, that incident came, no, I collapsed for 3 minutes before I wake up, go to hospital.
Commercial activities have grounded to a halt in the community as many shops remain closed for fear of reprisal attack. Mr. Owuo Judgement is unhappy the community has been divided along ethnic religious lines by activities of unscrupulous elements.
I think that the way and manner it was carried out, I think the best will be the police and the court to decide, because this thing has been building up for some time, and I think it's about time society see that this kind of acts will not be tolerated in a brim under my watch, and it must stop henceforth. We have done a lot of work with Sarki Alhaji Masawudu of the Zongo and his people, that when even there is a fight between two people, nobody should go home and bring his people, and there will be reprisal attacks. The best place to go is the police station. So if I say out of court settlement or take it from the hands of law, then I will be trampling upon the law.
Efforts to locate Lusin Abdul Fattah have been unsuccessful, and police confirmed they have been unable to reach him via phone since the incident was reported. From Kenyasi Abrim in the Ashanti region for JoyNews, Ohimintiwia reporting.
Defeated female candidates in the just-ended district assembly elections in Akpafo Odome in the Otu region has urged females to show interest in taking up responsible positions in their respective society. This, Janetta Dade believes, would contribute and increase female participation in the country's governance process. The 45-year farmer, who was 40 votes behind the incumbent Jones Obimpe, who polled 270 votes in the election, which recorded 45% voter turnout.
I feel very happy because as a woman, after the intimidations, the insults, to the extent that our chief had to organize a press conference and mention my name, that a woman should not be a leader. A woman cannot lead a community. I feel very proud, and I congratulate Obimpe as a winner. I'm very happy. I'll still continue to do the work I'm doing to help the community, and I'll even help him and liaise with him and do the work, so that in future, this is not discouraging me at all. It has given me a lot of courage and boldness to fight ahead. I will use this opportunity to encourage women to participate in governance or elections like this, because we need a lot of women and we need the voices of women. So this should not discourage my followers. This should not bring their spirit down. They should let us come together and work together to the success of this community. Thank you very much.
He contested the district assembly elections 4 years ago at Edukrom Nima and was disqualified. When the world thought he was buried like a seed, he sprouted. I'm talking about Ibrahim Adabo, aka Honorable Aponche. Although he lost the district election yesterday, he still held his head up high. In this report, maybe we can learn a thing or two from Honorable Aponche.
My name is Honorable Ibrahim Isa Adabo, aka Aponche Mponche.
Honorable Aponche is unique. He burst on the district assembly political scene 4 years ago, hoping to lead the people of Edukrom Nima.
We assure people that when I'm come power, firstly is that toilet. Second one, I'll make sure I'll buy canopy and chairs for the community. If something of ceremony or wedding appear, they will come and take it and do it, and they bring me back again. Toilet for all man and woman is free. Canopy chairs for wedding is free. Throwing bola for every money is free. Baba for children is free. So vote, vote, vote.
He feverishly campaigned and was sure of victory, but unfortunately, he was disqualified. Aponche was disappointed. Many thought that would be the last of him. In his hibernation stage, the people of Edukrom
thought he had kissed his dream of being an assemblyman goodbye. But he bounced back stronger this year, kicking a storm in the traditional media and dominating social media. He strategized and came back with a basket full of promises, from free breakfast to free toilet facilities.
I had more promises. I say when I'm come power, I'll make sure that every house will get one biogas toilet, which is flashy and ashy. I'll provide every one house one toilet for garubas.
His popularity made many Ghanaians believe the district election would be a walk in the park. On election day, people who voted for him took snapshots of ballot papers to show their loyalty. But it turned out many were not that loyal, leaving him to hang out to dry.
And I declare Abdul Rashid Musa Assemblyman elected.
Yet, in the face of a crushing defeat, Aponche was hopeful, even when it was apparent he had lost, attracting a paltry 19% of total vote cast. He refused to give up.
And then the EC come out and declare that we never won the thing. Inshallah, we go to Supreme Court. Because we have the results. This is the result. But we didn't show you. We don't want to show it for you now. But this is the result. We got massive 90% assured that we are winning.
However, Aponche offers valuable life lessons. 1. Don't give up on your dreams. 2. When it appears you have failed, don't be too hard on yourself. Find ways of reducing the impact of failure. 3. Be wary of people who give you false hope. Aponche may have lost the Dukum Nima district election, but nationally, he is more popular than the man who won. Jojo Kobner, Joy News.
Some great lessons from Honorable Aponche. Now, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology admitted a total of 22,100 students this academic year, but the increased numbers mean a burden on university resources, especially transportation system, where the fittest gets a seat. Student journalist Barkisu Mohammed has been monitoring when buses arrive to serve the waiting students and reports.
It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and students are rushing in preparation for lectures. Hawa is a resident at the SRC hostel, from where she has to set out early in order to catch the shuttle. After a long wait at the boarding point, she couldn't get on any because they arrived there already full. Hawa has no option but make it on foot to the lecture hall, hundreds of meters away.
Considering the distance from our residential area to the faculty area, the shuttles are very important. You know, they are very relevant. They help us in so many ways. You know, it's quite a distance from the residential area to the faculty area.
Some of us are from far off, and we can't always take cars and come here. It helps those who are fit. As it has been classified as survival of the fittest, those who are fit, it helps them to go to class on time.
After class, every student would like to go for the shuttle, and then due to the, let's say, the number of students we have on campus, and then the various hostels people are moving into, you see that the place is so congested, and then as you come to the bus stop to wait for the shuttle, by the time it arrives, people are already in it.
For a student population of about 55,000, there are only 18 shuttle buses and other vehicles. 5 of them are currently grounded due to mechanical fault. Despite these struggles, university officials say the buses are adequate. Dr. Daniel Bequin is University Relation Officer.
KNUST, we have procured about 18 buses or shuttles which convey the students from their various hostels to the various faculties. The buses start working at 6 a.m. and then they close at 10, depending on the timetable. 5 that have broken down, and we are working hard to fix them, and so that we have the full complement of the buses all working. And 18 buses or shuttles on campus is adequate enough.
Until these grounded shuttles are fixed and new ones procured, these students will continue to struggle boarding these buses to class. Reporting for JoyNews, by KN
And that will be all also for JoyNews Prime. For more news and updates of developing stories, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. And on behalf of the rest of the team, have a great one.